Welcome to Singularity, your guide to the world of fighter jets, rockets, and space. We're here to dissect the technology and strategy shaping our future. Today, we're diving into one of the most volatile rivalries on the planet. A recent dramatic escalation between India and Pakistan has sent shockwaves through the defense community. Unconfirmed but persistent reports allege an Indian Rafale was shot down by a Pakistani J-10C, armed with the advanced PL-15 long-range missile. This single event brutally underscores a critical reality for both nations. The era of 4.5-generation fighters is ending. The race for 5th-generation air superiority is no longer about prestige. It's about survival. The future of the skies over the subcontinent will be decided by stealth, sensor fusion, and networked warfare. This incident has kicked off a frantic, high-stakes arms race, forcing New Delhi and Islamabad to confront a future haunted by the ghost-like profiles of stealth jets. The question is no longer if, but which stealth fighter will define the next chapter of this conflict. Pakistan, recognizing the limits of its current fleet, is moving with astonishing speed. Islamabad isn't waiting, it's making a bold play for the future. Credible reports suggest Pakistan is aggressively pursuing a deal for China's Shenyang J-35 stealth fighter. An initial contract for a squadron of 40 aircraft is believed to be imminent, a move that would dramatically alter the region's strategic balance. To fast-track this, Pakistani pilots are reportedly already in China, training to master this new weapons system. The J-35 is a fascinating and controversial aircraft. Its lineage is impossible to ignore. Its design is a striking, near-identical copy of the American F-35 Lightning II, leading to widespread accusations of industrial espionage. While Beijing is working to improve the aircraft, particularly its WS-19 engines, their reliability remains a significant question mark for military analysts. On paper, the J-35 appears formidable, boasting a Chinese AESA radar and integrated electronic warfare pods. However, these are just specifications. The J-35 has no combat record. Its true stealth capabilities and its performance in a contested environment are complete unknowns. Adding to the intrigue are persistent rumors that the Chinese Navy is unhappy with the J-35's performance and is considering phasing it out of its carrier wings. This begs the question, why sell an aircraft you deem substandard? The answer is geopolitics. China uses Pakistan as a strategic counterweight to India. By providing Islamabad with advanced weaponry, often at little to no cost, Beijing keeps New Delhi preoccupied. This deal also serves as a crucial test case. Pakistan becomes a real-world proving ground for Chinese military tech, and a successful deployment would be a powerful advertisement for other potential buyers. For Pakistan, it's a shortcut to a 5th-generation capability. For China, it's a masterstroke of strategic opportunism. Across the border, India finds itself in a far more complex and frustrating situation. The prospect of a stealth-capable Pakistan makes its own quest for a 5th-generation fighter extremely urgent. For New Delhi, the most logical and powerful choice is clear: the American F-35 Lightning II. The Trump administration openly floated the idea of selling the F-35 to India as a cornerstone of a strategic Indo-Pacific partnership. India was ready, having reportedly earmarked a massive $25 billion war chest to procure not just 100 F-35 jets, but the entire supporting infrastructure and spare parts package. Yet, the deal remains stalled. The primary obstacle is India's long-standing defense relationship with Russia. New Delhi's refusal to sever ties with Moscow, highlighted by its procurement of the S-400 air defense system, creates deep apprehension in Washington. There is a palpable fear within the U.S. defense establishment that the F-35's top-secret technologies could be compromised and leaked to Russia. Compounding the issue is India's own rigid Make in India policy, which insists on significant technology transfer and domestic production. This clashes with the closely guarded nature of the F-35 program, as the United States is unwilling to share the crown jewels of its military technology to the extent India demands. This stalemate has left India in a strategic bind, watching its rival potentially leap ahead while the best option remains tangled in a web of diplomacy. With the F-35 door remaining shut, an old partner has come knocking with a tempting, if deeply flawed, alternative. Russia, eager to maintain its influence, has aggressively pitched its Sukhoi Su-57 Felon. To sweeten the deal, Moscow is reportedly offering unprecedented incentives, including access to the aircraft's source codes, discounted S-400 systems, and technical assistance for India's indigenous fighter program. The offer is substantial, an initial 20 Su-57S with the potential for 200 aircraft for the same $25 billion budget. It's a numbers game, and Russia is playing it well. However, accepting would be a monumental gamble. Aligning so closely with Russia would almost certainly trigger severe economic sanctions from the West. Beyond geopolitics, the Su-57 itself is a troubled aircraft. While it has an internal weapons bay, its overall design falls short of true 5th generation standards. Its radar cross-section is significantly higher than its American counterparts, questioning its stealth credentials. The aircraft is, in many respects, an unfinished product. Its engines have been plagued by defects, and its radar-absorbent material coatings are reportedly underperforming. Most damningly, its combat performance is highly suspect. Reports from Ukraine suggest several Su-57S have been shot down, a devastating blow to the jet's reputation. For India, this is a path of bitter history. India was an initial partner in the Su-57's development, but the partnership ended acrimoniously over delays, costs, and Russia's refusal to share critical technology. Returning to the Su-57 would be a risky bet on a flawed platform. Faced with unattractive foreign options, India is pouring its hopes into a homegrown solution, the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, or AMCA. This is India's ambitious dream to develop its own twin-engine stealth fighter, backed by a staggering $30 billion investment. The design incorporates advanced stealth features like an internal weapons bay and serpentine air intakes to mask the engines. The goal is to eventually equip it with thrust vectoring engines for supermaneuverability and a sophisticated electronic warfare suite. For its initial flight, the AMCA will be powered by the reliable American GEF 414 engine, but the long-term vision is to develop a more powerful indigenous engine with French assistance. The project is managed by the state-owned Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL. However, the history of HAL's Tejas light combat aircraft, which took decades to develop, looms large over the AMCA. Recognizing these past failures, the Indian government has proposed opening the development process to private and foreign companies, offering incentives to meet deadlines. Despite this, the challenges are immense. The $30 billion investment is massive, but developing a 5th-generation fighter from a limited technological base is a Herculean task. The development timeline is incredibly aggressive, especially when compared to the United States, which spent decades and hundreds of billions on the F-22 and F-35. The AMCA represents India's technological ambition at its zenith, but it is a high-risk gamble with a very real possibility of falling short of its lofty goals. The skies over the Indian subcontinent are on the brink of a technological revolution. The choices made in Islamabad and New Delhi today will dictate aerial warfare for decades to come. Will Pakistan's quick acquisition of the unproven J-35 give it a decisive edge? Or will India's complex search for a true 5th-generation capability, whether through a landmark deal for the F-35 or the ambitious development of its own AMCA, ultimately secure its dominance? The stakes have never been higher. Thanks for joining us on Singularity. If you want to stay ahead of the curve on the technologies that are shaping our world, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our community. We'll see you in the next one.